Hi everyone, welcome back. Well, we're just down doing a little bit of contract harvesting for the neighbour before we move up and start on our wheat. We've just finished off their lupins, and we've had a few delays this year. We've had a couple of rain delays, and we've got some more rain coming tomorrow evening, early morning the next day. Hopefully that's going to miss us and we don't have to stop for that. Today we've had a slightly different delay. Today we've had a harvest ban. We've had this bad fire burning up the coast now for about 4 days. This is a really big fire. It's caused a lot of evacuations. It's burnt out an awful lot of area up here. This is up around Jurien Bay, which is a fairly popular holiday spot. And this has taken up an awful lot of firefighting resources from all around the state. Then today we had another fire start just on the outskirts of 2J, down in the valley along the river. I'm not quite sure how this one started, but almost as soon as this fire started, the Shire Centre put on a harvest and vehicle movement ban because they didn't have enough firefighters left to deal with this fire and another one if another one should start. The day was a bit windy and hot, but it wasn't too bad, but they just wanted to ensure that there weren't any other fires that started. When the Shire issues a harvest ban, they send an SMS out like this one here on the screen that just lets everybody know that they have to stop work. They usually have a time on them. They usually say effective immediately, but sometimes the time that they are effective is not actually the same time as you get the SMS. So you've got to read them a little bit carefully just to make sure. Later on they will review it and they will send us out another SMS message to say that the ban has been lifted. Today it got lifted a bit earlier than the review time on this message says, so we headed straight back out to start harvesting again as soon as it was lifted. Anyway, we're going to jump back in the harvester now. We've just changed all the screen settings, and we're going to do, there's only a couple of hectares of oats up there to take off, but it's a pretty thick crop, so we'll be moving through that pretty slowly. We've got a few hours of daylight left, so we'll see how much we can get done, and I might get a box off tomorrow morning before I go to work. We'll see how things are going, and hopefully we can get pretty close to finished here. So almost as soon as I had jumped back in the harvester, the trucks started going up and down the road again as well, carting. This is all the other farmers around us carting grain to the silos. The person I'm doing the work for at the moment stores all their grain on the farm for animal feed later in the year. It gets pretty hard in the afternoon when the sun is low and you're heading towards the sun. It can get a little bit hard to see the ground and make sure you're not running into anything you shouldn't. In this paddock I know there are some rocks around as well, so I'm watching out pretty carefully to make sure I don't pick up a rock anywhere. The slightly dirty windscreen on the harvester doesn't help either. But it's always nice when the sun gets down a little bit lower than this. This crop is a pretty thick crop. It was seeded at the rate they use for seeding hay, which is often about 120 kilos a hectare, which means some of it has fallen over like this. That means you've got to go quite slow and very, very close to the ground to try and pick up all the stuff that's fallen over. And it means it all gets, the tall stuff that hasn't fallen over gets tangled up in the reel, and you start working your thresher pretty hard when you're putting that much straw into it. Tonight I kept going till a little way after dark. The farmer who owns this property wanted to stop carting a little bit before dark so that he could unload the truck before it got dark, and I took one more box off. It's a little bit challenging when the crop is falling over like this, and you've got to keep a watch out for rocks and stuff like that, but luckily we got through it without any problems. We didn't quite get finished tonight, unfortunately. There was a little bit more to do tomorrow, but we got most of that finished when I got home from work so that we could move everything and get back onto my harvest tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!